everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Ask Prep. In today's video we are going to study about land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife resources. Let's get started. Introduction: Natural resource management. Natural resource management is a discipline in the management of natural resources such as land, water, soil, plants and animals, with a particular focus on how management affects the quality of life for both present and future generations. Natural resources, resources derived from the nature and used by humans, are called natural resources such as land, soil, water, plants, wildlife, mineral and power resources. Land resources. Land is an important resource. It provides for more than 95% of human food requirement, greater part of clothing and housing and all needs of wood for both fuel and construction. Plain 43% net sown area, NSA, 54% of plain mountains, 30% plateau, 27%. Distribution of land. Land makes up only about 30% of Earth's surface, with around 90% of the global population living on roughly 30% of this land area. The other 70% is either sparsely populated by 10% of the population or uninhabited. Sparsely populated areas include the deserts and grasslands of Asia and Africa, tropical forests in South America, Africa, and Southeast Asia, and polar regions. Antarctica is uninhabited except for temporary research stations. The subtropical and mid-latitude zones house about 66% of the world's population due to the availability of fertile, arable land. Land use pattern. Physical factors such as topography, soil, and climate, availability of water and mineral resources determine the probable use of land. For example, fertile plains are used as croplands, occurrence of mineral deposits favors mining. In densely populated areas, land is used for other human requirement like buildings, houses, roads, rails, etc. The table shows that India has 57% of land as cropland and only 22% as forest, while countries like Australia and the UK have more pastureland and Japan has 67% forest cover. Land use in India: croplands 57%, pasture 4%, forest 22%, other 17%. Land is either private, owned by individuals, or community, used collectively. Growing demands have led to encroachment on common lands for urban and agricultural expansion, causing land degradation, soil erosion, and desertification due to these changes. Soil resources. Most part of the Earth's surface is covered with soil. The thin layer of grainy substance covering the surface of the Earth is called soil. It is closely linked to land. Land forms determine the type of soil. Soil is made up of organic matter, minerals and weathered rocks found on the Earth. This happens through the process of weathering. The right mix of minerals and organic matter make the soil fertile. Recyclable non-renewable resources. Some non-renewable resources can be recycled. For example, metallic ores like gold, silver, and iron can be reused after processing. Organic materials like plants, fruits, and timber can also be recycled through composting to enrich soil. Non-recyclable non-renewable resources. Some resources cannot be reused once consumed, such as fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas. These resources are exhausted forever once used and cannot be replaced. Based on distribution: ubiquitous resources, found everywhere, like air. Localized resources, found in specific regions, like copper and iron ore. Formation of soil. Soil formation is a slow process, taking hundreds of years to create just 1 centimeter of soil. 5 main factors influence soil formation. Parent rock. The original rock affects the soil's color, texture, minerals, and permeability. Example: shale contributes clay, sandstone adds sand. Relief and topography, altitude and slope impact soil accumulation. Steep slopes prevent buildup, while plains allow it. Climate, temperature and rainfall accelerate weathering and humus formation, speeding up soil development. Flora, fauna, and microorganisms, dead plants, animals add humus, and organisms like earthworms create spaces for air and water. More time allows for thicker soil layers to form. Remedy of land degradation, planting of shelter belt of plants. Control of overgrazing. Stabilization of sand dunes by growing thorny bushes. Control of mining activity. Proper discharge of industrial effluents and waste. Soil erosion, the denudation of the soil cover and subsequent washing down is described as soil erosion. The process of soil formation and erosion go on simultaneously. Generally, there is a balance between the two. Soil conservation. Soil conservation is the practice of preventing soil erosion. Key methods include afforestation, planting trees to stabilize soil with their roots. In hilly areas, terrace farming, growing crops on leveled steps along hillsides. Contour plowing, plowing parallel to hill contours to reduce erosion. Contour barriers, using stones, grass, or soil to build barriers and collect water. Rock dams, piling rocks to slow water flow, preventing gullies. In plains, strip cropping, planting crops in narrow strips to reduce erosion. Field binding, reducing gully erosion in clayey areas. Mulching, covering bare ground with organic material to retain moisture. In coastal and arid regions, shelter belts, planting rows of trees to reduce wind erosion and protect soil. Water resources, water is essential for all forms of life. Water is a major body constituent of several plant and animal species. 70% of the human body consists of water. Human uses water for domestic purposes, agriculture, industries and generation of electricity. Increasing population, rising demands for food and cash crops, increasing urbanization and rising standards of living are the major factors leading to shortages in supply of fresh water either due to drying up of water sources or water pollution. In 1975, the consumption of water for human use was 3,850 cu km year. It soared to more than 6,000 cu km year in the year 2000. Conservation of water, vegetation cover, forests and plants slow down surface runoff, enhancing groundwater storage. Rainwater harvesting collects rain from rooftops into tanks for future use. A 2-hour rain can save about 8,000 liters. Efficient irrigation avoids over-irrigation. Canal lining reduces seepage losses. Sprinklers and drip irrigation, effective for water conservation, especially in dry areas. Recycled water, reuse water from kitchens or industries, example for gardening. Economic use, minimize wastage by using water efficiently. Natural vegetation and wildlife resources, significance, the biosphere is the life-supporting zone where Earth's lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere meet. Organisms in the biosphere rely on each other in an ecosystem for survival. Plants are essential, converting sunlight into food and providing oxygen, shelter, timber, and medicinal resources. They also protect soil and support groundwater storage. Wildlife, animals, birds, and insects contributes milk, meat, wool, and pollination. Scavengers like vultures maintain environmental balance by cleaning up waste. Earth hosts around 300,000 plant species and 1 million animal species, all vital for ecological balance. Factors influencing plant and wildlife resources. The distribution of plants and animals on Earth depends largely on climate. Plants, rooted in soil, must adapt to seasonal changes, while animals can migrate and have better survival chances. Changes in vegetation affect animal life, as plants and animals are interdependent within an ecosystem. Soil influences plant growth and types of animal life. Example, earthworms only thrive in certain soils. Wind affects plants by increasing transpiration, and relief, slope, water, sunlight also shapes soil type and vegetation. Together, these factors create the ecosystem's balance. Types of forests. Evergreen forest. Trees in these forests don't shed their leaves simultaneously during any season of the year. In hot and humid climate they have broad leaves, and in cold climate they have needle-like leaves and bare cones. Deciduous forests. They are found in tropical, subtropical and mid-latitude areas. Trees of the forest shed leaves in a particular season in order to conserve loss of moisture through transpiration. Use. Norway, Sweden, Finland and Canada are exporters of several forest products like paper, wood pulp and newsprint. In India and other monsoon countries of South and Southeast Asia, rosewood, sandalwood, teak and mahogany are the important species which have been used economically to a large extent. Conservation of forests. Forests are vital resources, and conserving them is essential. Key conservation methods include afforestation, planting more trees, controlling urban growth, preventing unplanned city expansion to save forest areas, regulating grazing, managing grazing by domestic animals, raising awareness, promoting programs like social forestry and Van Mahotsav, and encouraging school activities like bird watching to appreciate wildlife, preventing forest fires, educating nearby communities to stay vigilant and cautious. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoy learning about the land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife resources. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more exciting social science videos. See you next time.